Welcome back. Another episode of the Scenario Podcast. We are back. We gave y'all some dope last week. A lot of people hadn't heard the last episode, man. The last one, that was the classic.
It was an early run.
Yeah, but that was the one that people kind of forgot about and really hadn't dove into it for a while. And it really put some context to a lot of things that, you know, we talk about in general going forward. So some people like that, new listeners that came on the back end, was like, what do y'all mean by the crew? Now they get it.
Now you realize you've been living it the entire time.
Yeah. Now you're trying to figure out. But so a lot of people were hitting us up asking, when's the woman's one going to be?
Oh.
So that's the one. I thought that was pretty fast because I thought we kind of broke that down when your lady came on the episode like two, three later.
Well, see, we did that happen that long ago?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I think that they want to have like a robust roundtable though. That's what.
So we just need to just get them the mics and we just roll out.
I'm not gonna leave my show to them.
No, I mean
it might not be the same thing when we get it back.
I turned to some different shit.
Yeah, no.
You ain't gonna leave it.
I'll facilitate the conversation, but I ain't giving it up.
You ain't gonna leave and go get no emos and then come back.
No, hell no, absolutely not. Even though that's not the worst idea. Just leaving and getting the hell away from it. But no, that'll be one time I'll sit around and listen to that girl conversation because I want to know. I want to learn.
Yeah,
I think that they'll discover things about
themselves
that they never even knew before.
Because their crews are smaller than ours are.
Girl crews
run smaller than
girl crews are just a collection of cliques that decide to roll together.
So you're saying they're basically like East and West Germany back in the
wow.
In the 60s,
I was gonna say like Mean Girls and Clueless, but
and if those two movies kind of merge together. Okay, or what about
Czechoslovakia? Like Regina and Cher would still have their cliques, but they might just hang out with each other. But then I still stand by the fact that I think the most girl crews don't like each other through and through. So
it's really one girl that's in kind of maybe in both crews or allied.
It can be like that. Yeah, I think that they crews germinate off of different girls bringing together different crews. But there's a lot more competition in girl crews.
Yeah,
I don't know. We can have this conversation. We need to introduce what we believe it to be.
Yeah, like
the fight that they have is that they say there's way more positions than what we give, and I say there's 4 positions.
I think they had less positions.
I know they do. They just don't realize it. So we're gonna have to educate them on how that works.
Because they'll be like, such and such do this. No, they actually do this,
and they need different definitions of what they do. Because like a girl crew got different things. They got like cock blocker and like down dirty hater.
Yeah, this
closet hoe.
Damn. And basically, the closet hoe marries the henchman, right? Is that kind of how it goes?
Closet hoe marries some dude that don't even have a crew.
Oh no, she marries
a dude that you never seen before, but been living in the city for hellas.
You'd be like,
she marries the happy to be here cat. Closet hoe happy to be here.
Yeah, because you seen that where you'd be like, I don't know everybody here.
Like, how long y'all been married? Like, say word.
Yeah, and he's 39. Like damn.
Say word that long, and then you start calculating up the things that you was just like, ooh,
this turnover is you was on 2 jobs at the same time.
She was playing for 2 teams in the same league.
Shout out to my homegirl who had 2 jobs at the same time, because she was moving from city to city, and she kept the other job but said she was working from home. And she had 2 full-time jobs at the same time.
And said she was working at the crib?
Yeah.
That's all-time hustling right there.
I think she did it for 3 or 4 months.
Damn.
Hey, Sharita, email us. Let us know how you got this. Because I couldn't believe it.
I still don't. I wouldn't want that many jobs. I mean, what am I saying? I mean, I do like 5 different things, but I mean.
No, she was getting 2 full-time paychecks, though.
Oh, that's love. I've done that before. I have done that before.
Really? So how does that,
well, but see, mine don't, because I don't clock hours, you know what I'm saying? Okay. So like I have been working full-time for 2 different outlets.
Because you were doing media, though, so you're doing 4 hours, then you're going to do something else.
Yeah, and that's considered full-time.
Okay. No, she was having 2 8-hour jobs at the same time. So she would come back to her.
That's like the physical manifestation of claiming somebody else's kids on your taxes. It's the work version of that.
Yeah, that's some crazy shit, man. But we jump in the email box. It's from Brenda. She says, "I love the last episode. I know you all talk about the cruise so much. Like, when is the girl episode going to come? You all talked about doing a girl episode. I'm interested to see how it runs for women with cruise. I can see myself in a lot of those different topics in ways that you all were describing a crew, but some of those seem like those are things that girls wouldn't have to deal with. But love your show. Keep doing what y'all do as always. And P.S., when are you all going to do a live tour?" Look, it's coming soon.
When the endorsement checks make it possible.
Look, we coming.
We're gonna start. We're gonna do
we had to do the Chitlin circuit first. Biloxi, Mississippi, Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Damn, we're gonna be on Green Book.
Maybe that's what we call the tour. The
Green Book tour. All right, coming soon.
Green Book tour. We ain't in no major cities.
We just gotta get a white dude to drive us around.
We have a little camper or something.
We have like a white dude drive us around in like an El Camino. Can't be as nice as the joint. No,
because he had real money. We got our budget a little bit different.
My budget's spoken for through next year at least.
Yeah, you're still paying. Well, no, shit, because you still paying that shit after that. So
no, that's gonna be paid in full day.
Oh, paying full day of. All right,
that'll be done.
Sounds good, man.
Yeah,
you did it right.
Day of, that's done.
All right, next email comes from P Money. He says, got a topic for you all to maybe discuss and think about on a higher level. I love when people say on a higher level. That means I think you're smoking weed by listening to our show. Like, ew, cuz I need y'all to think about something on a high level.
Maybe they just need like for it to get developed, like thought shops, like workshopped it a little bit, or you could be talking about sparking up and making
listen to the rest of this email before you go. Go defending that.
I try to give credit to people that say things off the cuff, but let's go.
So, do you all think that the moon was landed on? We haven't been back, and there's a big conspiracy theory that goes on with the guy that did The Shining. Okay, I mean, that is a conspiracy theory with that.
Stanley Kubrick shooting the moon landing?
Yeah, I mean that's been out there for probably like longer than we've been alive.
This is like the thing we was just watching.
Yeah, exactly. And he also says, what conspiracy theories do you all do believe in? Give me a shout out coming straight down from Hawaii. Shout out to you in Hawaii, man. Keep everything on the up and up. Y'all brothers are really, really making brothers from different parts of the country understand and feel where y'all coming from. I necessarily don't identify with certain type of podcasts because they may be too far to the left, too far to the right. Y'all kind of middle ground. Oh shit! So we basically, what are we then? I guess are we the Mitt Romney of podcasting?
No, the Ross Perot.
Independent.
Who's the guy from Starbucks that's running for president?
Oh,
is he still running?
No, he's not.
Oh, he got out.
I think they might he just kind of got lost when
when
Mayor Pete came on board.
Oh,
and Andrew Yang, you got all these cats talking.
But he's not a Democrat though. He's independent. I know, but he probably doesn't have anybody to debate with. He'll be back.
Hold on,
he'll be back. So conspiracy theories that I believe in. I do think Michael Jordan was drunk. In the flu game. I do.
Shout out to the Sherman Showcase you watched before.
I've always thought that. Now that I've gotten older and older, and
if you understand like how you have to go to work being drunk like that, and power through some shit.
Yeah, I don't think Michael Jordan just got the flu and had to do it. I think Michael Jordan was drunk, and the flu game should
Kevin
be.
Johnson is his name.
Drunk game. Okay, yeah. What other conspiracies? Yeah, conspiracies is up your alley. Conspiracy. I mean, you got a stone 10 Commandments tablets of conspiracies.
As I get older, I get less conspiracy theory person though.
Because you don't have as much time to think about it.
And maybe that's it though, man. You have a kid and stuff though, and you like living out here, and you like, damn, I ain't even think about. But conspiracy theories I do believe in. I don't believe that Mike Tyson raped Desiree Washington. I know that's a real strong one to come out without the box.
You came out the gate really big with that.
I do believe Biggie was killed by Suge Knight.
Okay.
I do believe that John F. Kennedy was not killed, that he was as high on cocaine and crashed his plane.
John F. Kennedy Jr.?
Jr.
Because I don't believe that John F. Kennedy, I don't believe that there was any way that his assassin shot him from where he was at.
Yeah, no way possible. JFK, that's kind of a standard conspiracy. I think that everybody kind of like, yeah, that one kind of rocks.
They've done way too much work to cover it up.
Yeah, they did it over time.
Basically, it's like the equivalent of people trying to delete text messages in the 60s.
Right, like they're here forever.
Like they're terrible at
it.
Like it's like it's awful.
Conspiracy theories: Martin Luther King was not killed by James Earl Ray.
Okay. I don't believe that Paul McCartney died in 1966.
That's one I just found out about like a year ago.
I don't believe.
So did you know about this before?
Yeah.
I mean, I know they said it's been out there for a while, but I know you're a big Beatles fan. So
yeah, I don't believe Paul McCartney died.
Was replaced by some dude named John Wilson or some shit.
You just don't have two people with that much talent that look that much alike. Here's one I don't believe in. I don't believe that there's this underbelly of Illuminati.
Yeah, I think it's hard as fuck to have a real Illuminati at this point in the internet age.
Mm-hmm.
Like they getting aired out right now. Shout out to Epstein, Jeff Epstein, right now, who's getting really. He's been indicted and like is in jail right now. They won't let him out with no bail.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you noticed, and somebody brought it up, I forgot what I was hearing somebody say it. If you notice, when the Jeff Epstein stuff coming out, that's when Donald Trump went in on the crew, those girls, because he's named in that shit that he was on the plane too.
Yeah.
On that fun plane with young ladies.
Do you believe in any biblical conspiracies?
Oh, I don't believe the Bible is true at all.
Well, not the Bible itself. I mean, that's more or less.
I believe that Ezekiel, when they said he was looking at a spinning wheel, that was an alien.
Do I have to let you defend that now? I can't. I don't know if I can glaze over you saying you don't believe the Bible.
No, I don't. I won't say I don't believe the Bible. It's historically.
You don't believe it's literal.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. No, I believe some of those stories may have existed, like Ezekiel with the spinning wheel. I believe he was looking at aliens.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you believe in? Do you believe in dinosaurs?
Yes. Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay.
I'm not that. I don't even. That's not a conspiracy theory. I think that's like.
Do you believe in evolution?
Yes.
Okay.
Hardcore, I believe in evolution. I believe that Jesus was an asshole too. Go with me on this.
I'm not going with you.
No. Because there's things that is like they have different ranges that say like that he had to learn to become who he was. Think about if you were told that you were the son of God since you were 1 year old. You couldn't tell me a goddamn thing.
So you believe that Jesus is the son of God?
I mean, if I was told that over time.
No, yourself.
I do not believe you.
So you don't. Okay.
No. But I believe that he believed that since people told him that.
Okay.
And I believe he became a better man over time. And I think the story is that you evolve and become a better person over time.
Okay.
Not that the perfection is the perfection of evolution of a person.
Okay.
And I think that's the missing chunk we miss when this motherfucker show back up and he's 30.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? 12 to 30, we don't get none of them formative years where...
You think that they omitted it? Or do you think that they... Okay.
Yeah, because he was a dick. I feel he was a dick. You got to remember the last time before Jesus, we found him back at 30. He went into the synagogue and said, yo, I'm Jesus' son. I mean, a God's son. Holla at me. I'm supposed to be up in here. Think about that, dog. If somebody walked up in a company was like, yeah, my dad is the CEO, you'd be like, this is a dick.
One thing I don't think that we would believe right now would be if Jesus showed up right now.
Oh, not at all.
Nobody would believe it. Nobody would believe it.
Also, I don't believe that Armageddon's happened. Every generation thinks Armageddon is happening in their generation. I don't believe Armageddon is ever going to happen.
I think Armageddon's going to actually be something that's going to play out. We'll see to it that it actually does happen.
Right. But it won't be like, oh man, all the different imagery and revelations.
No.
It'll just be some of.
I think it's a perception thing.
Yeah, it's.
I went through a lot of different relationships with the Bible though in my time.
Yeah, I'm more about the teachings of like being a good person, not necessarily.
I think the Bible's the best book I ever read.
Oh, it's got some crazy stories up in there.
I mean, not even about that. I just think that the perspective of it is incredible.
Yeah,
like
I think it's different books and different people.
The staying power of that book makes more sense than anything I've ever read. It's
think
the
about
best
all the
book.
books that they didn't put in there.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Council of Nicaea that said like these are all the books that's gonna be in the Bible. But I mean, it's a lot of conspiracy. I mean, I have less conspiratorial stuff now because I feel like it's so hard to cover up stuff because of technology now.
We could do
like somebody's gonna drop down.
We could do like an entire show.
Yeah, on just conspiracy.
Of you just going down the rabbit hole of being conspiracy, brother.
Like
I want you to like.
The
so
most
what?
ridiculous one I've heard is the Sandy Hook one. That was fake.
That it didn't happen. I was looking at that. Oh, you didn't
see? Yeah, that's one of the ones I was like, yo, that's ridiculous. When I seen people on TV crying about their kids and like, little Timmy's not here at all. Like he's disappeared.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of things there. But yeah, we can do that. We do a conspiracy episode. Do a conspiracy episode one of these days.
Right, let's jump in these topics, man. Unless you got another conspiracy.
I did. I had one based off what we just talked about. Mm-hmm. I think Area 51 is a decoy.
Oh, 100%.
I think Area 51 is a decoy.
But it's just some regular people that are working there.
I do know for a fact. They're
going to shoot motherfuckers regardless of September 22nd.
I do know that these...
How many people... Sidebar. How many people you think are going to actually show up for this shit?
Show up?
Yeah.
Like at Area 51?
Because they're supposed to stop in Las Vegas and then go into...
They're not finna get close to Area 51.
But I'm saying how many people you think are going to show up and attempt this
How many people have RSVP'd for that thing?
It's like over 1 million now.
2,000.
That's still a significant amount of people.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot. 2,000 people show up. That's a lot of people for you to have to fucking deal with as a fucking as a military. How many people you think even work on that military?
Man, you
base?
know how often the U.S. military kills 2,000 people.
No. But I'm talking about but a general military base. I don't know.
Area 51's no general military base though.
But if you're saying it, then
like
it's
have you ever went to Area 51 on Google Earth and like tried to see where it would be at? Mm-mm. Man, there ain't shit around there. Like they blocked out so much.
So we can see you. It's not like you just gonna pop up and drive around the corner.
Right.
Like you got to drive.
Right. I also think that John F. Kennedy Jr. was Batman.
Whoa. Why you say that? And he was on cocaine too, because that's the thing. He was on cocaine when he crashed.
If you had to be Batman, you would. They tried to say that you were on cocaine, but I think that he was on mission. I think John F. Kennedy Jr.
And they brought his lady with him, and she was what, Batwoman.
They dropped her in there. They knew they had to get to the bottom of it.
They killed John F. Kennedy Jr. Also, I think Sirhan was a Manchurian candidate. He killed Bobby Kennedy.
Wow. Okay.
The older the conspiracy, the more likely I'm going to believe.
Oh, I tell you the one I absolutely do believe is that AIDS got planted by the government.
100%. I think damn near at this point we got to that's almost going towards truth. That's like Janet JFK.
And I also believe that there's an outright cure for most diseases, but that they won't let it happen for population control, but also for financial control. Capitalism keeps most diseases unsolved.
It's in the comeback. As the great Chris Rock said, it's in the comeback.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and global warming actually is happening, by the way.
That's not. I don't think that's conspiracy. I think that's kind of fact.
I mean, you let some people tell you
that's a conspiracy.
It's a hoax. It's a conspiracy theory. How can it be? It's still winter. How can it be warm? So, is that any more emails there?
No, that's it, man.
All right, man. Well, hey, keep those coming. Keep those coming down. We will look into the tour. We will look into.
The Green Book tour.
The Green Book tour. The Green Book tour is coming.
And if we do, I think we should purposely go to like towns outside, like right outside in the suburbs. Like, so if we go to Chicago, we go to Gurney.
I thought you were going to say Gary.
No.
I don't know.
Our budget to get blown on security.
I don't know, bro.
We'd have to actually pay for security.
We have to get like Thor. We have to get like.
Or if you watch The Boys, we had to get what was it? Nubian Nightmare or whatever. It was Nubian.
Black.
What was it? No, it was a Nubian whatever that was supposed to protect Baltimore. On what was his name? Nubian
I can't remember.
It was like Nubian something though.
It was so racist.
It was so racist, but it was like it made sense for him to go to Baltimore. Yeah. It's like
that he was. But the funniest part about it was they said he's in Detroit right now, and I was like, oh my god, I said this show is ridiculous. They've been listening to us because I said that if we had black superheroes, they have to. What city would our black superheroes go to?
Detroit, Baltimore, St. Louis.
Yeah,
Cleveland.
Yep.
Atlanta.
All the places that are supposed to be the worst places in. I mean, what city is Black Lightning in?
He's like in New Orleans. It's supposed to be like New Orleans.
Okay.
It's fictional New Orleans.
Yeah, fictional New Orleans.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Creole City. Yeah. Something like that.
New Orleans, shout out to Master P. Did you see, before we even go, did you see the Master P tour? It's only one city though. How is Denver? Because I sent that to you. You was like, oh my God.
I was so hurt.
And you see how much the tickets are?
No.
$250
each?
Yes.
That's nothing.
Yeah. You said that's worth it?
That's nothing.
for the No Limit, the tank tour. No, not the tour, just the stop in Denver.
I'm in there.
It's in Denver though. How did Denver get it out of all cities to get the whole tank together?
Why not Denver? The whole tank that's left.
Yeah. Because what? Mac is in jail.
Yes.
Soldier Slim is dead.
Yes.
Magic is dead.
Yes. Big Ed is dead.
Who is?
Big Ed the assassin.
Big Ed the assassin is dead. C-Murder's in jail.
C-Murder.
So we have 2 members in jail.
C-Murder's
2 members,
dead in
3
jail.
members dead.
Mystikal's in jail.
Mystical's on the tour. He's on the flyer.
Is he? No.
Yeah.
Was he?
He's on the flyer. Mystical's gonna be there.
How? I thought Mystical was in jail.
He's charged right now. He's on bail.
Oh, okay.
He can get a work release.
He's still R. Kelly.
Well,
did they find R. Kelly yet?
Yeah, they found him.
Where was he
charged
at?
in Minnesota.
Where was he at?
He went back to Chicago.
Like he ran away and went to Chicago?
Yeah, he didn't want nobody to see him. He went to Chicago. And then he got charged now in Minnesota for 2 more counts in Minnesota.
Oh, my God. Who's going to end up worse off in the end, R. Kelly or Bill Cosby?
R. Kelly.
What do you think they're going to do to R. Kelly?
Like Javon said, they're going to make him sing Step in the Name of Love and some 2 dudes went in jail.
Orange is the New Black with dudes?
Yeah. Because I think people respect Bill Cosby way more that they won't fuck with him. R. Kelly.
See, R. Kelly
is kind of open.
R. Kelly's going to get worse rap because the worst thing you can go to prison for is being a pedophile.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. And on top of that, R. Kelly's younger. Bill Cosby can just say anytime he's sick and just go to the infirmary if he wants to, just to get the fuck up out, and they'll believe him. They said, sidebar, on Bill Cosby, they said he's working out. That he lost weight, like he in there basically pumping iron and shit.
I thought Bill Cosby was losing his mind.
They said he in there doing motivational speaking. He's working out. He's lost weight. He's like doing good.
So he gonna get out looking like OJ?
OJ came out looking.
That's another conspiracy.
Yeah, that one I don't know, man. The older I get, the more and more I think OJ did that shit.
There's so many conspiracies wrapped up in that.
Yeah, I mean
Patrick Ewing, frozen envelope.
I think that's true.
I do too.
Especially in the 80s. Have you? I mean, I know you have, but to our listeners, go look at any draft in the 80s or the 70s. It was basically like a hotel ballroom that they rent out.
It literally was.
Yeah, that they rent out.
It literally
and it's
was.
like, so anything can happen in. Like, there's no... Anybody could hand over a different envelope and say, like, oh, this is the first.
It's like if they did
pick.
a draft at Ponderosa.
That's exactly how it looks.
And you'd be like, what the fuck? It's like you walked into Buffalo Wild Wings and they're doing the NFL draft in there. You'd be like,
who gets the first pick? Oh, damn. I guess Minnesota gets the first pick.
The options on the table are like the Cleveland Cavaliers, like the Cincinnati Kings. Oh, and the New York Knicks get the number one pick.
Whoa.
I do think Patrick Ewing in the frozen envelope is a real thing.
Show them, man. But let's go on our topics, man.
All right, man. So we're about 6 days removed from an experience, a unique experience. It was the Mary J. Blige, Nas royalty concert.
No, I would like to recoin it.
Okay.
The Blige Church in Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the Mormons show.
I learned that Mary J. Blige is a cult leader at that concert. That like she got to be in there with like David Koresh and like.
Your best quote that you text me was, "I feel like I did something wrong to these women in here, and I don't even know none of these women."
Well, let's just read our text string.
Yeah.
Let's just go back. We'll just go back. This is the first time ever in history of the show that we've ever read something. Now, granted, these were text messages that were sent under duress. And
this is a live, basically like a live tweet, but amongst each other.
This is basically you're getting to see a live stream here. Let me see. How long ago was that?
It was Wednesday, so.
Wednesday, July 31st?
Yeah, so we had, I said, so, you started off at 9:54 on that Wednesday. Okay. You go, these women loving this Mary J. like she's singing the anthem. The Pledge of Black Women Allegiance. And then, and I said, black women be hurt, boy. And then you said.
So hold on. No, we got to do this in our own voices. All right, I'll start off. Let's go back. Oh, no, we got to go back to the blackness that happened up first. Yo, where you end up for this Nas?
Hold on, let me go. I said I'm in the midsection suites. I'm in
sweats.
Yeah, sweats.
Seats.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be seats, but autocorrect.
I'm in row U on the right side.
I said double G in the middle.
I bet. Keep your head up. You might be able to slide down here. There's hella open seats around us.
Now keep in mind,
and that never changed.
Oh, it never did.
Never.
I was gonna say, did that fill up when the church
changed.
started? Okay.
Never changed. It was always seats around there. I don't know why. All right, so Dob, we go as we should throughout Nas's set. Nobody communicated with each other.
Not at all. Like no communication at all.
And this is probably about 20 minutes into Mary J's set now. When I'm just looking around and my anxiety's starting to rise a little bit. Say, yo, these women loving this Mary J like she's singing the anthem, the Pledge of Black Woman Allegiance.
And I go, ha ha ha, yo, black woman be hurt.
Say she's soothing souls by the lyric. Yo, we gotta put together the ultimate black church choir episode.
We gotta do the Hurt Black Women All Stars too.
Yo, I was just sitting here thinking that while I'm listening to these lyrics getting sang like the gospel. Mary J gotta be top 5 instigator of all time against black men.
Man, this is Mary J featuring Nas. Because keep in mind, Nas went before like 30 minutes.
Yo, but Nas also came back out in a short set though. That's too.
Because he was probably relaxing. He's like, oh shit, you gotta go back on stage.
Yo, they said you gotta work a little bit more to get this check.
Oh shit!
He came back out in a satin short set.
He did.
Like, damn, Nas.
Like, damn, man, he was relaxing in the back. He's like, hey, Nas, you gotta come on for love is all we need. Damn, that's right.
I wish they would have done that. That would have made sense. Yeah. I guess he didn't want to rap somebody else's lyrics though.
No, he's on Love Is All We Need.
Oh, I'm thinking about the
The family affair at the end?
No, the joint that they just sped through in the little collage of.
Oh, you talking about
meth and
yeah, you talking about
You're All I Need.
You're All I Need, yeah.
Women out here full head deep in emotion, man. I'm sitting here right behind the side chick suite too, and it's motherfucking empty.
So, yeah, you think you was gonna bring a side chick there and she be looking at you like you don't want to leave your wife for me?
First of all, the side chick suite in that environment doesn't work because it's within arm's reach. You're not detached from the crew. Now I looked
only
over.
male concerts you can go to the side chick suite.
Now I looked over.
Only men singers.
I looked over and Big O was there, and he was sitting over there in the family suite. And I was like, man, I'm stressed. I went over there afterwards. I said, I felt like it was gonna get bad for me. And now he's like, you good? I was like,
was like, he solidified in the game. So
so deep in entrenched. He's not worried about nothing.
So then I go, this is seriously a women's revival.
Yo, this is straight propaganda. I'm gonna skip that next thing.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. No, I gotta skip that.
She's a traveling evangelist.
Yo, she's straight up on her second generation of making women mad at men they haven't spoke to in years or haven't even met yet. This shit is amazing.
Mary J may be the real problem. Then I go, she's straight converting people to be baptized.
Yeah, I was like, yo, this is Billy Graham meets Oprah.
Then I said, so I don't know. I'm trying. What did that? When I said niggas,
that's when she fell out on the ground.
Right, when she fell on the ground. Right, she falls out on the ground in the middle of No More Drama. Mm-hmm. And then I said, she's trying to pass the complexion plate around in a minute.
I said, shit, I just passed out too. I thought I did something wrong. She passed out. I played dead. That's got to be like an ex-nigga seance.
This is seriously psychology 101 on the low. Bring you up to take you down to bring you up. Mary J. Blige is the spook who sat by the door.
I'm going to tell you what, man. I've never been. That's the end of the conversation for that evening. I've never been
But your quote on the Facebook and you said, like, I felt so bad. I didn't even do nothing.
I hadn't even done anything to anybody. I said,
no women in there I didn't.
I felt pressed like I'd done something wrong.
That's how the concept was, man.
I'd never been around that much raw emotion in my life. Like, I know now that I could never in life go anywhere close to a Beyonce concert.
No, Mary J is that deal. Like, I knew she was. I saw her before with D'Angelo in Chicago. But it wasn't this much energy like that. And maybe I was way more intoxicated at the first show in Chicago.
Probably.
That has a lot to do with it. And I was pretty drunk. And I kept going back to the bar to get more drinks and bringing them back to like my auntie and them. So I was really involved in the Mary J show that much.
Yeah, you was on service because they was like, boy, go on out there while we get this church. Exactly. Go get these drinks for us while we get this church in.
Cool. I was like, cool. I'm running back in.
Yeah, she clown. We make fun of her. I mean, but she clown.
No, she killed it. She did like her thing. Look, her voice has got better.
Yeah, that's true. That's real.
Her voice has got better, man.
That's real. But she is a danger.
And then if you went outside, like if I wanted to go get a drink, and my brother, I wanted my brother, man, and he just escaped and left. Just said fuck Mary J. Blige, period, and never came back. Never came back.
He just left and you
just
didn't
stayed outside talking to girls, like we was in high school.
Oh my God.
So if you went, and then he was like, I can't get back in, come back out and get me. So I went back out. I saw his boy Dean, and I was like, dude, Dean, where you at, man? Like, I mean, where my brother? He's like, man, I don't even know. So I'm walking around. My brother is all the way over somewhere else now. So he done migrated all through the
That
joint.
is a confusing venue.
Yeah, because the sides, it's like weird, like your entrances for that left and that right thing, like it looked exactly the same on both sides. Mm-hmm. You can get caught up.
Yeah.
Can you make one red, one blue or something? Like, I'm on the red side.
Yeah. I just felt like I needed a grappling hook to get out of there or something.
Yeah. And then the traffic, get the fuck up out of there.
Let's see. You got to get that pass. We got that pass and they had that dedicated lane in and out.
Oh, word. Okay.
Yeah, I was out of that joint in 5 minutes.
Okay. Did you pay for that with your ticket, or you just?
We just bought a parking pass.
You just bought a parking pass when you got there?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we bought it off StubHub.
Oh.
If you can buy that StubHub parking pass, you got to get that. As long as it isn't like more than your ticket. Sometimes it gets crazy.
Because how much was it, that one?
$10.
Really?
Out of there.
Dude, it was on Ticketmaster. It was like $75 for that.
Didn't do that.
I didn't do that.
I paid $30 to park for the regular season Cardinals-Cubs game the next night.
So you got even your ass
out. It took me longer to get out of there. Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, man. Let's get into our topics, man. But yeah, shout out to
that is one of our topics. Back in there, so you got post. It's
post-traumatic stress, man.
Yeah, man.
With that, man.
It was something to see. I mean, I've never seen the energy in that room was one of the most threatening things I've ever been a part of in my life, and I hadn't even done nothing wrong. Like, I'm sure there was somebody there I did something wrong at some point too, but I didn't see her, so I shouldn't have felt the way I felt.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that concert, man. It was a good show, and I wanted more Nas. Like, don't co-line and say it's a co-headline tour when one of the headliners only gets 30 minutes.
Was that only 30 minutes?
Dude, he was doing snippets of songs. Mary J. Blige was doing full songs.
I felt like he did most things I wanted to hear, though.
But it was snippets of them. Mary J. Blige was doing the full song of all the hits for the church.
Well, it became very clear that was her concert.
Yes. I wonder if it changes per city. Mary J. Blige is so thick. It's probably every city. Every city. What city could Nas have headlined over Mary J? Philly? But she from New York, too, though. So them motherfuckers going to come from Harlem all the way over there.
Yeah, that's true. So a silly debate is happening also this week in the world where there's been a lot of people discussing LeBron James going to see his son's basketball games and getting into it. And it's morphed to a point where people are saying he's doing too much, which I find to be incredibly, incredibly ridiculous. Like, what's the most criticized role in American society?
They say that black men don't take care of their kids.
Black fathers is the most criticized role, singular role in American society. Mm-hmm. But now you see a dude that's literally like the Teflon Don of role models. You trying to hoop? Cool, role model. You trying to get money? You trying to be an entrepreneur? Cool, role model. Yo, you trying to just be a dope-ass dad to be out here about his business? Hey, he's becoming a role model in that too. But now we coming after LeBron. I guess it all stems back to LeBron, jumping on the court, excited during one of his kids' games.
Layup line with his kids.
Doing dunks in the layup line. He's been doing this for a while, but I don't know. I guess it just hit a point.
I think because there was no media, nothing going on. If this was like in April.
It's the gap in between NBA free agency and NFL training camp starting.
Yep, it's the dead period.
But here's the thing.
Baseball's been good lately, though. So, like,
people act like baseball regular season.
But baseball's been good this regular season.
It's been a really good year.
Yeah, like,
it's been really entertaining.
One of the most entertaining regular seasons I've seen in a while.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's been a great regular season. But at this point, people just treat baseball season like it's 87 years long each summer.
I'm coming back in September, basically.
Yeah, I'll come back in September. Like, I'll pick this up in progress. But
they do a simulation. They do a simulation.
Right, you sim all the way from All-Star game all the way to we sim the regular season to the All-Star game, just sim the All-Star game to the playoffs. Looking ass. But I just got a huge problem when I see LeBron get criticized for that. Like, if you want to criticize him as a basketball player, if you want to criticize some of his business decisions he made, hey, I'm cool with that. Like, whatever you want to do. But, that comes part of course of being a star athlete. But this is all out of limits to me. And I hate to hear the conversation the way that it gets, the context happens, because you have people talking about fatherhood in a way that they've got no idea about the extra situations that happen with being a black father. Fat boy Jason Willard talking that bullshit. You see what he said? I don't fuck with him on any level.
I honestly like in our show though, man. Like, we really don't go in on people like that. We kind of like have like talk about level shit. Yeah, but that's a motherfucker though. Like, I fucking want to fight him for real if I saw him.
Yeah.
Like I don't really hate I don't hate anybody, but I really dislike that motherfucker.
Well, because he's Uncle Tom, and I hate Uncle Tom.
Yeah, like. I get it when sometimes some people try to call people Uncle Toms. It's like, okay, man, you kind of like.
No, he's
the poster child.
He's straight up shucking and jiving.
And the thing was though, I think he transformed in this for the paper. If you look at some of his old writings pre Sean Taylor.
Oh, he sold out.
Yeah. Okay.
All the way.
Okay, that's what I'm.
He sold out all the way.
Okay.
And then he got bitter when he didn't get to be the black voice of ESPN.
Because he was supposed to have that thing with Undefeated was supposed to be his, was we call like the Big Lead or something else. Yeah. And then it was going to be up under Bill Simmons, right, with Grantland, right? It
was going to be next to Bill Simmons. It wasn't going to be underneath.
Okay, so it was going to be like Undefeated.
It was going to be the black equivalent of Grantland.
And they said fuck him basically.
I said no. And there's a whole story about Scoop Jackson wrote a story about that.
Oh really?
You can check that out. But it's I'll remind you later. Don't forget about the story. Okay. We'll talk again. Yeah. I mean. You can't have, number one, I always have a huge problem when the black community turn on the black community when it's not something that should be referenced that way, you know what I mean? But what the fuck has LeBron done that's wrong?
I worry about him, though.
LeBron? Why?
Like, I worry about Barack Obama. Like, just, like their image to be tarnished by some bullshit that happens. That's what I mean, like, where it's like, yo, like LeBron built up all his equity where he's almost Teflon because he's done right. Like you really just shooting in the dark. At this
You're just
point,
hoping you hit something.
Right. I just hope he don't get caught with no side chicks. Like if I saw LeBron with his side, like, dude, what are you doing? Like I would literally stop him. Like I know you're the 6'8" and I'm only 5'9".
I would jump on her.
Like, what are you doing?
We need LeBron James.
Same thing, Barack Obama. Like you saw him walk in the hotel and be like, Barack, dude, don't do this.
Barack's got the game mastered.
Say like you be like,
Barack and LeBron James had the game mastered. We thought once upon a time that Jay-Z did, but even he took the lumps. All Jay-Z has proven is that he's Teflon.
Or is Jay-Z just lying because they did the whole thing to try to? But that's the conspiracy that people believe that they did that all to.
She didn't leave him.
But it was all fake.
She didn't leave him.
But it was all fake.
I know.
She didn't leave him, and she said to the left.
At the end of the day, she didn't leave him.
Yeah.
And it ain't like she couldn't afford to. She'd have been just fine.
like
that's a good other conspiracy theory. I don't know. I try to stay out of people's houses when it comes to stuff like that.
But that one is like, if y'all can see, it's like.
I mean, it makes sense to do it.
Yeah.
I ain't got no problem with them pulling off the hijinks if they did.
Yeah.
I also have no problem with Jay-Z getting jammed up. Nobody can live.
Both of them
nobody
cool.
can live a perfect life. Like when you go to life rankings, like he's on the infinity gauntlet of dudes that have won life.
Oh, yes.
In the last 30 years bracket.
Yeah.
Barack Obama,
Jay-Z, LeBron James,
Tom Brady, Derek Jeter.
They're 5 right there. Maybe missing. Do we have
Lewis Hamilton's doing pretty good too.
I was going to say Lewis Hamilton's one of them, and I was thinking about what about Beckham?
Yeah, he's doing pretty good too.
But because only reason I didn't want to put my boy from Juventus, I can't remember his name now. Ronaldo, because he got caught in that 60.
Yeah, Ronaldo might be jammed up for real.
But no, they let him go.
Yeah, I know because he's.
But other than that, he was good to go until
that's a tough rap. That's a tough rap to take though. Sex scandal.
Yes. Or rape charges.
Yeah, anytime they get that close to you,
you get jammed up with a rape charge.
It's just like Alex Rodriguez is having the rebound of all times right now.
Yo, this dude.
He's having the rebound of all time.
Him and Nas.
I think A-Rod might surpass them.
I don't know. Nas was filed for bankruptcy at one point.
A-Rod's losses never cost him $1 though.
But Nas was in like damn near bankruptcy at one point. Had his baby mama getting almost $100,000 from him a month. Now he's invested in the company that's over $1 billion, that ring company.
Oh no! I absolutely get it. I absolutely get it. Turned around, he still got stuff there, but you never saw A-Rod have to take. A-Rod just took a PR smash, but the checks kept cashing throughout all of that. The checks kept cashing,
and he stayed in the league to make sure his checks was because he should have.
And now he's getting new money.
Yeah, because he got all the investments and stuff.
And they paid him in full. They paid him like $50 million to retire.
Oh, word?
Yeah, they just wanted.
Let's get you off the books.
Can we get this done? We need to move on as a franchise.
Here's a $50 million, just to
50.
Out. Oh shit.
Bobby Bonilla is on the gauntlet too. Oh. Bobby Bonilla is the soul gem.
Yeah. He gets a milk every year, dog.
Every year.
Because is that perpetuity, like forever?
2030, something like
that. God, that's perpetuity. He might be dead by then.
No, Bobby Bonilla.
You need to watch out Bobby Bonilla. They might try to kill that man.
At this point, that $1 million don't mean nothing. Nah, that was a lot of money in baseball when he was getting it.
He probably was watching. He probably had security and everything, like his own little detail.
Bobby Bonilla is a really cool ass dude, though.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's a really cool ass dude.
Okay.
I met him at GameStop in the Galleria one time. And my old dude really knows him. Like, he was rocking with him back when we'll have my old dude, The Life and Times of my dad. We'll do a couple.
Get your pops on here.
We'll do a couple episodes with The Life and Times of my dad.
So, he was at the GameStop at where was it, the Galleria?
Yeah.
And Bobby just is in there just getting games?
Regular dude.
But what was he doing in St. Louis like that?
It was back when he played for the Cardinals.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about like recently. Okay.
Yeah, it ends in 2035. It's an annual paycheck of $1.19 million that started in 2011 and ends in 2035. Meanwhile, Bobby's last game was 2001, so it started 10 years after his career was over. So he got to spend his money. And Bobby made good money like he was playing too.
Yeah. And he gets his retirement money from the MLB too.
Yes, he does. Good life, Bobby Bonilla.
I wonder if Bobby
Best life, Bobby Bonilla.
Yes.
Best life, Bobby.
Joe Johnson is another All-American hero.
Joe Johnson is killing the big three right now.
And he's All-American hero. They say he's playing for free.
Yeah.
He can.
He's killing the big three right now.
Smoking Jones.
We're going to see if Carmelo going to have a turnaround like A-Rod. But Carmelo asking for ridiculous stuff. Like Carmelo said he wanted a farewell tour like D-Wade got. I say, no, nigga, be for real.
You ain't win no rings. What farewell tour?
I mean, what legacy are we doing?
Is he top 100 even?
Yeah, he is. His numbers, his numbers are nice. I think Melo's getting too much criticism.
Like it's now to the point.
Like I feel like now it's getting to the point where it's like, hold on,
we getting ridiculous.
Hold on, this dude led the league in scoring twice. Like, take it easy.
Yeah, I think Melo. The weird thing is, I think Melo not doing the LeBron thing to go get a ring hurt his career.
Well, I don't think Carmelo was ever in the position as LeBron, though.
No, he remember he had that money that he took all that money from New York.
He was scoring champion once. I'm sorry, but this is still.
Remember all that money was sitting there from him. The Knicks, he could have left and went to go get a ring with somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, true, but I mean, I don't know. Melo was on the bridge of that era.
And Melo was the one forcing the trade that fucked up the Knicks that they could have had way more assets if he had just been patient.
If he would have waited.
Yeah, but I'm saying he did a lot of stuff
the Knicks, but the Knicks, though.
They would have fucked it up.
Come on now, it's the Knicks.
Something you saying
it's the Knicks. Yes.
They would have traded for Joe Johnson at some point. Them other assets would have got
It's
Joe Johnson.
the Knicks. Don't worry about it. It's the Knicks.
They would have figured it out to fuck it up.
They would have found out some way
true.
to fuck it up. I mean,
that's true.
You know, he's got 2 Olympic medals.
And he's hoodie Melo.
Yeah, and he got a strong run as hoodie Melo. He's got a national championship. I mean, we can't act like his NBA career was just
it's not trash,
an awful thing. I mean, he balled for his NBA career. Balled out.
Yeah. But do you think I mean, I guess it's too early. Will people look at him a higher regard than Bosh out of that class?
Yeah, because I think Chris Bosh is another dude who catches a bad rap.
Yeah, because basically Chris Bosh, the dude that just kind of jumped in your car though while you was rolling out to the party.
And Chris Bosh was a killer in Toronto before that. He just was one of the first dudes who wasn't going to.
He was doing like 20 and 10 though, wasn't he?
Yeah, I mean he was doing more than that. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I mean he just was one of those first dudes that wasn't gonna win a title on his own.
He was the first Kevin Love.
Well, we've had Kevin Loves forever.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like just that stuff because he was nobody else on the squad.
I mean, you can go back. I mean, you got your Alex Englishes, you got your, you got your Bernard Kings, you
Derek
got cats
Harper.
getting Dominique Wilkins, you got cats that get numbers.
Yeah,
but I mean, I don't know. Anyway, so today we're gonna have a more extended version of This Week in Racism. Because I feel like the times right now, this particular week, in what's become the regular rotation of the earth in being a center de la racism.
Yes. And
particularly charged racism. Boy, this has been quite the run. So we're going to hit a couple topics before we get to our big proposition of the evening that you probably can tell by the title of this episode. But let's get there. Let's get there in a way. So last Wednesday, amid the Mary J. Blige cloud that went over me briefly, news broke. I think I shared this during the show or something like that too.
Because the Mary J. Blige, when you're in church, then you don't want to listen to everything that's going on with the pastor. You get on your phone.
Yeah, it's like, whatever. The former president, Ronald Reagan, called African UN delegates monkeys in newly released recording with Tricky Dick Richard Nixon, of all people.
No. The main thing I think of is this Nixon was a dick for real. This motherfucker was recording conversations in the motherfucking 70s.
How is Richard?
Like how much of you like I want shit on everybody?
Like does anybody have more of a slimy resume than Richard Nixon?
He's the most slimy of any president.
I mean, it's almost
besides pending the one we have.
This one's not slimy. He's something different. But Richard Nixon is like a heel wrestling manager who just like he's
Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Yes, that's exactly who he is. Thank you.
The Brain Heenan.
Very good job. Yes, it's like if you elected Bobby the Brain Heenan.
He's amping you up. He's on the phone like, oh yeah, they are monkeys, right?
Yeah.
Man, he's like amping them up like he's a hype man. He's like Spliff Star. He's like Spliff Star. Like
yeah, I mean it's. I mean, first of all, we shouldn't be surprised. I think Ronald Reagan. No. Ronald Reagan is one of the foremost supervillains against black culture.
But I'm surprised that Richard. I'm not surprised. Now, I'm surprised that Richard that Ronald Reagan wasn't smart enough to know that Richard Nixon would record him. Like, why wouldn't you think that he wouldn't record your conversations?
So Richard Nixon says during this conversation, he saw these cannibals on television last night. Christ,
look at he's trying to bait them in.
They weren't even wearing shoes.
He's baiting them in. It's like your boy being like, man, these bitches up in here is tripping. You be like, oh, we can say bitch with you, huh? Okay. Yeah, these hoes is tripping.
Right, you feel.
He baiting them in.
you feel real emboldened.
Yeah. You like, oh, we can say bitch and hoe up in here? Yeah.
This is before we realized that Richard Nixon was the foremost spy of all time. Maybe the messiest spy of all time, too.
He was messy.
I mean, it shouldn't be a surprise.
But Richard Nixon wanted somebody to be racist with him. He was just hyped to find anybody that was down with him.
Oh, that's very true. That's very true.
Oh, you racist too?
Yeah.
And you in California, so oh shit, so this even better.
Really, you gotta really mean it.
Yeah.
How's the way that what is the thing you look at to determine if somebody could be racist? What's the first thing you look at to determine?
Just in general.
Mm-hmm. What's the first thing? If you get a chance to just read their stats and just be like, I bet you they is racist.
War on drugs, war on crime, anything crime. Like I'm hard on crime.
Oh no, I just look at where they were born. I just look at where any person was born.
You can't do that though, Jimmy Carter, man.
Listen, there are exceptions, but I just look for a trace of racism because I don't assume racism.
Oh, you're just saying like what is the breadcrumbs? You said the little breadcrumbs to get you there.
Mm-hmm. Be like, ooh, where was he born?
South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Mississippi. Oh, okay, all right. Missouri. Oh,
he's big racist. From Missouri. That's for sure. Yeah. if he from Missouri, he hate everybody.
Yeah, because you wouldn't say you're from Missouri, you say from the city.
Mm-hmm.
You don't say you're from Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody, our listeners, if somebody like, I'm from Missouri, they're racist.
No, big racist. Missouri.
Yes.
Missouri.
Like most people are like, oh, I'm from Springfield, I'm from St. Louis, I'm from Kansas City.
I'm from Missouri.
And if they say they're from Sedalia.
Oh.
Shout out to Brad Pitt who got the fuck up out of there.
I know one dude from Sedalia, and he's a good dude. It's the only person I know. Two people. I've met two people.
And they got the fuck up out of there, didn't they?
Well, one of them is here in St. Louis.
Right.
No, but he
fuck up out of there.
He didn't stay. He didn't stay.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got the thing I've learned this thing about white people though, whereas sometimes, and this is one of the funniest things I've learned in my conversations with them, is that some of them have relatives that are so racist they just made sure that they couldn't be. They just saw it was just like, God damn, y'all, come on, are you serious?
Like, I gotta leave this.
Like, I can't do this. I'm not like this. I'm sorry.
I mean, man, you could just say like, Barack Obama is just not a good president. Okay.
You didn't have to say all that though.
Yeah. You ain't have to call him a nigga and a coon.
You didn't have to call him a monkey, President Reagan.
But monkeys. And that was when black nations were starting to get their liberation, their freedom from Europe colonization. So they were like, "Fuck it, we finna vote for fucking." I think it was a vote on China being a part of the UN. Believe Executive Council, and they wanted somebody else to be a part of the Executive Council and not China. Like fuck it.
This is like easily the most racist article I've read. It's almost like reading something from like a historical document or something like
read like the slave
like Nixon laughed at these comments from his best friend Bebe Rebozo. That reaction on television, God, he ain't even speaking regular English. That reaction on television was that it proves that they ought to still be hanging from trees by their tails. This is Richard Nixon's best friend.
But Richard Nixon's from California too, though. That's the crazy shit.
Yeah, they be hiding in plain sight.
Yeah, but California is a weird place because it can be real racist and real regular.
What year is it in California right now?
2008.
2008? You think so?
Yeah. Silicon Valley set them back a little bit though. It helped them to set them back because it's real racist in Silicon Valley still. Mm-hmm. And then all the gentrification going on in LA, and then San Diego is expensive as hell.
I think Silicon Valley got to be the most selfish portion of America.
It's basically where all the Wall Street people moved that were in the 80s, right? Like where all the yuppies that were on Wall Street.
And all the angry people with great ideas that were shunned by society otherwise.
And they got no girlfriend.
And a lot of immigrants.
That went to MIT, they didn't have no girlfriend. They couldn't get a girlfriend from Boston College.
Yeah.
No.
And that's where the girls go to find money from guys that they know that they could just look at and they be like, I want her. I could have never had her unless but I'm
going to get her now.
Unless I created this app.
Shout out to Roman Polanski who got Sharon Tate, who still is. Did you see Once Upon a Time yet?
No.
Okay. Interesting movie. I definitely want to hear your thoughts.
No, I'll check it out. Moving right along. This is the reverse tax hustle, but it still is a tax hustle. This is white people's equivalent of getting their cousins' kids for their tax returns. This what I thought was just the craziest thing I read all week was that there are white families who are emancipating their kids so that they can get better financial aid packages in college.
Basically saying my kid is homeless.
But you paying for the home that he lives in underneath the table. Like, I didn't realize how many people send their kids to college and then just buy them just dope-ass spots.
Oh, yes.
Like, just dope-ass spots.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't realize this until I was at my fiance's place, and she's like, oh, yeah, half these places over here, she's got a nice spot that you should have as a young professional. Mm-hmm. But she's like, oh, yeah, I'll get people, her saying this, she'll get parents from, like, Wash U that's close to her here in St. Louis and say, oh, yeah, can we just, can we rent your place out? Can we buy your house from you? Because they just want to give it to their kid for 4 years and then sell it again. Like a place that somebody who's established in their career lives in. Nice house to live in. They're buying this for their kids just to go to college in.
It's actually a good investment if you really think about it.
It's great, but imagine if they're doing that and this kid has been emancipated and is getting financial aid, and then somebody else isn't getting into college because
this person,
there's not money available for them to come in.
That Pell Grant ain't going through for somebody else.
Exactly. But it's going off of their earnings that they're getting from working at Juicy Couture or whatever the hell it is that they working like NCAA athletes, just getting them booster money. It's the same thing. But to me, it's the exact same thing, though.
It's the boosters.
It's the same thing. Yeah, it's just basically parents turning into boosters for their kids.
But they wanted they try. I mean, the thing we learned though from the whole celebrity thing with the parents is they just want their kids to be in there as much as they can, though. And it's not about the kids having a great education; it's about their ego.
Yeah.
Of saying like, such and such to go to Harvard. You be like, damn, how you pay for Harvard, girl? What you doing on Friday? Come over, I'll show you how to.
I'm gonna put you on, girl.
Put you on. Little Timmy finna graduate in a minute, right? You're gonna have to leave. You're gonna have to make him leave, right? He gonna have to emancipate. And think about Timmy, like, my last senior in college, maybe senior in high school, I had my own crib. Mm-hmm. I was kicking it.
Yeah, and that happens like all the time. Like they just live in a different world. Like people that do stuff like that just live in a different.
And it's something you'll never be able to.
We're not being black families not doing that because you need to be supporting that household and a lot of them.
Oh, 100%.
You better go work at Foot Locker and bring some money home.
And I want my 30% discount too when I come.
And you ain't leaving this house because you are on my taxes until you absolutely can't.
I'm getting my tax money.
You can't even There's people that can't even change their address when they go to college because they still got to stay on them taxes.
Yo, I was on I was on my mom taxes till I was like 23.
You was like 32. You was still on that joint. Shit. It's time to erase Daryl's birth certificate again.
I remember my mom called me. She was like, "How you clean yourself?" Like, Mom, I got a full-time job. Oh shit, you right. She was like, "I'll call you back."
I'm literally head of household. I had to do it so that I could get taxes from my own job. You got a kid and a wife. What you doing? Put them on it too. Hey, my favorite thing about being black, and my favorite thing to both be that I think is remarkable to watch, and hilarious at the same time, is the resiliency of black folks.
Oh man, we'll figure out a way.
We will figure out a way, even when we don't need to make that way. My thing about it is that so somebody will say, "Well, what's the difference between doing that and then doing what they do?" Because we figure out a way because we have to.
Yep,
that's the difference.
Your parents already have a household of $20,000-$50,000 a year. You don't need that.
There's a huge difference between having to figure out a way and just trying to get around the system so you can keep more. That's the difference between capitalism and trying to rise in the world for yourself.
And getting over.
And speaking of figuring out things, congratulations to us all. Mm-hmm. Jon Voights has figured out racism.
Hold on, we got to go to it.
Oh, is this going to be the feature?
This is the feature.
I'm sorry. This is the feature in the trifecta of This Week in Racism.
Here we go. This Week in Racism, y'all.
Noted actor, 80-year-old father of Angelina Jolie, Jon Voights, came forward today with some. Was it today? Did this happen today?
Yeah, today. Yeah, this is today. 80-year-old Jon Voights.
Yeah, 80 years old. Keep that in mind. Says that on the headline on page6.com, Jon Voights says racism was solved long ago. And of course, he did this amid tearing into critics of President Trump, of course. He said, "My fellow Americans, too many are angered at words of racism." It sounds
like a presidential address.
It says, it's called Jon Voights' Message for America. I know. We'll post this tomorrow.
Yeah, and he's on video too. It's a full thing, like he's doing like the State of the Union.
We'll post this on. We'll read a couple of snippets here too. This has been a big issue for the black community since the Civil War, but this has been solved long ago by our forefathers for peace and love. Time the fuck out. When did somebody solve racism? Did I miss this? Because I know there's a lot of things they didn't teach us about ourselves in school. Granted,
we had to learn them later on.
There are things we had to learn later on. We had to do a lot of self-teaching after we got the basics down of how these things went. We had to go back. I feel like I've been to school like twice in my life. I got lucky though. I went to an all-black elementary school, so I got all of the foundation first. They taught a black curriculum in my elementary school.
And I went to Yateman Middle School for one semester
before. Yes, we talked about it. But so he went off and talked about the Holocaust. Says it's not about color, race, religion, creed, any of these things. It's truly a treat. We're going to post this for you on the site. But I'm going to say this.
Should I play it and put it in an episode?
You can play a little bit. Yeah, let's give him a little bit now, too. Let's give him a little bit now.
We're going to give you a little bit now.
This is not a race for color or fame. This is a journey that is for truth. My fellow Americans, too many are angered at the words of racism. This has been a big issue for the black community since the Civil War. But this has been solved long ago by our forefathers for peace and love. It seems that the angered left and angered minorities want to hold President Trump accountable for past lives. You see, we have been gifted with truth. And as I see it, anger is among the old chains that were binding to the people of slavery, old wounds that still seem fresh. Let me talk about old wounds. The Holocaust. That, my friends, are wounds that live among the Jewish and non-Jewish that lost lives. But this is not about color, race, religion. This is the United States of America, a nation built on trust and liberty, a soil of greatness, a land of opportunities where all can grow and succeed with freedom, a nation of greatness. These angered left-wingers preach love, but only pollute. We must understand that this is a nation of liberty, and this president is honoring all. He is not a racist, but a man who loves his country and has every intention to make this land great again. Let us vote for this country's safety.
Shout out to Jon Voights.
But wasn't that a treat?
Folks, if you have to see the video of this, he's dead ass serious about it.
Oh, he means it.
But he's always been like real racist in the border in general. He played in Rosewood, so I mean, remember how he was in Rosewood? He was like messing with
Mickey Donovan.
That's right.
He's dead right now on TV.
That's right. You're right. Yeah, he's already playing a raging racist already.
Yeah. He's like Creed Bratton on The Office, who just plays somebody his own name.
And just do it.
Yeah, just be who you are.
They don't even give him a script. They
just go do what you got to do.
Just do your normal thing. I can do my normal thing? Yeah, just do whatever you feel like. Yeah, that's Mickey Donovan.
That's Mickey Donovan on that tape. That better be a script for Ray Donovan this year.
Just him with his thing like, Pops, did you do this?
With what's the name on there?
Yeah, what's up with it? He'd be like, Pops, you did this?
Yeah. I don't know if there's anybody in the history of TV that should have been dead 4 seasons ago, more so than Mickey Donovan.
Yeah.
He should have been dead long ago.
It's one of those things. I think it's like the Paul Bear Bryant thing. Like if they kill him, like
it's gonna kill the.
They kill him in real life. No, kill him in real life. like when
the Crow.
Yeah, well, no, like I remember when Paul Bear Bryant retired. We died like a year later after that. Joe Paterno, like if they leave their job, like they gonna die. Like nobody want that blood in their hands. So
that's
like,
true.
Or they just let him to come to the studio and just like let him just get coffee and stuff. Like we gonna shoot you, just stay here. And you can just let him hang out, make him think he really got a job.
Boy, I'll tell you what, boy, these white people really on one right now. They really are on one. If you can recap this show, we have old tapes undusted of us being called monkeys, followed by families that are basically stealing college aid money from people who actually need it. And now, but don't worry, racism has been solved, so we don't need to worry about it.
It's all good. I mean, and the funny thing is that Ronald Reagan is probably he's arguably the most beloved Republican of the modern era.
I think that...
Yeah. Tell me a better Republican. People
you know why? You
like
know
that.
why, though? In this conversation that I had earlier this week, he is because everybody was eating when he was there. And it was a perfect blend. It was the first generation where African Americans could eat, white people kept eating. People were getting in the country. He ended communism.
We had a person that we had to look at as the threat. So you didn't look at like
he had
internally as a threat.
He had a huge diversion while he was putting crack into every inner city neighborhood in America that he is ending the Cold War. So he had a great distraction. Tell you what, he manipulated the office better than damn near anybody of all time.
And they say that this last 3 or 4 years, he wasn't even doing none of the work.
No, it was all old man Bush.
Yeah, because when he got popped, he wasn't the same motherfucker no more though. He was basically like a puppet sitting up there, like they was just like.
If there's any president that really, if you look at a Republican, if you're gonna jump the gate,
it's George Bush.
Should have been George Bush, the first Bush.
Yeah.
Now
George
that
Bush
dude,
is probably
he's
the
probably
real
been,
G. The real G is George Bush.
He's probably the most. If you look at it through a traditional sense, I don't think that's changed any. He's probably the most qualified person to be president of the United States that we've had in the last since shit. A long time. Eisenhower, maybe?
No. Eisenhower was a fucking general, man.
But, I mean, he had an understanding of infrastructure, and he was president at a time when you needed
Roosevelt.
Franklin? I was trying to think if there was anybody else.
Even though Warren G. Harding had a bad rap, he was actually super qualified.
I was trying to see if there was anybody that was... But, you know, if you look at all the other ones, I mean, Clinton was kind of an upset the way that he rose up and beat Bush.
Bush just got played.
Like if Clinton right now would be like if Beto O'Rourke won presidency. Yeah, that's exactly what he just got momentum and kept rolling. But Obama, I think, was just the ultimate success story. I mean, it was just like he
was the first one to embrace the internet as well too.
Exactly. He also had some great timing coming off the heels of a historically bad received presidency in Georgia. Not to say he couldn't have done it on his own, but I'm just saying it was great timing. A lot of things happened the right way when Obama came along. But I mean, you know, you go back. I mean, you know, Jimmy Carter, you know, Gerald Ford, you know, I mean, Tricky Dick is before that. So I mean, you know, you got Lyndon Johnson. I hope I'm not skipping anybody. You got Lyndon Johnson before that. No, I think Johnson was right before Nixon, because Kennedy was before that.
Kennedy, Johnson, Nixon.
Yeah, so I mean, now you're getting back before Kennedy was Truman?
Before Kennedy was... No, it wasn't Truman, because Truman is after World War II. Eisenhower. It was Eisenhower.
Was Eisenhower that late?
Yeah, Eisenhower was after Truman.
Okay.
It's Truman, then Eisenhower, then Kennedy.
Okay, you're right. Yeah, so I mean, you can go down the list, and I think the requirements for what a president should be changes over time based off, you know, what you need and what you've got to do. But I mean, I think that is, you're right. It was Eisenhower, Truman, Roosevelt, Hoover, Coolidge, Harding, Woodrow Wilson, Taft, Theodore Roosevelt, who was most certainly qualified for the seat.
Theodore Roosevelt, but he was racist, but it was all good though.
Yeah, I mean, in 1901, I think that was, of course. In 1901, I think that was part of the qualifications. Is he racist enough to be president? Is he gonna make sure that them darkies stay down the way they're supposed to?
Out of slavery.
Yeah, because we having enough trouble with them as is, you know. But anyway, old man Bush, I think, should get the praise that Ronald Reagan gets.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
But speaking of which, we thought that something I don't want to make light of. Okay, so I mean, you know, I think that something that we pride this show in being able to make light of situations that probably don't have a whole lot of light to them, but you know, just trying to show where it's at. Yeah, more often than not for our people, for our culture. But I don't think there's any way that you can look at what's happening with this just breakout of mass shootings in the United States and make light of that. That's not something to make fun of, And I think that what's the underbelly of what I've seen this week of people trying to justify the cause for this has just been laughable. I was showing you a conversation that I had. I don't talk to a lot of people I don't know on social media.
Yeah,
it's just
I refuse that.
It's just not. I just don't do it because I in general I have a policy in life. If I don't have the possibility of being able to touch you if I need to, I'm not going to talk to you at all.
And then sometimes I won't even put you on blast in public. I'll hit you in your inbox like, "Yo, G, like you kind of wild."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
because I just maybe I'm old school, but I just
don't want no drama out there in general.
I don't want to. But there's a part of me that feels a need to say, "Oh no, you're an asshole. I'm about to show you. Like you're dumb. Like you're not as smart as me. I'm about to show you that you're not." Because there's a lot of people that are really.
This monkey is smart.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, right. You can call me Curious George, motherfucker. But the shootings that happen is just ridiculous. I mean, it's on another level of ridiculous, the things that are happening. I think that we had 15, 9, 24, 20. We had almost 50 people die as a part of mass shootings this past weekend.
Yeah.
You see a lot of these memes and a lot of these stats that flash around social media, and things like that about the amount that happened in the United States and the things that are going on. But to me, I look at it and I just say a lot of the things that happen in this country happen because we're operating on an outdated mandate of rules. So, with that being said, we decided this evening to bring under review the Bill of Rights. And we're going to see exactly what is outdated here and how that thing needs to be tweaked to become the Black Bill of Rights.
Yeah. All right. Amendment 1, freedom of religion, speech, and the press.
So, what we're going to do is we'll announce it, and we'll read it. We'll go back and forth, and then we'll give our thoughts on it.
These are simple versions, people. We're not going
very simple versions. We're not going into
each amendment is like fucking 3 pages.
Yeah,
so
and
in real life, like we're not going to read the whole thing.
Exactly.
We give you the cliff notes.
So, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of the people to peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. So, simply put, it says we're not going to really get in your way of expressing how you feel about things and being who you are.
The addendum is if dogs don't fuck up my money.
So, how is this thing really playing in real life right now?
Don't fuck with my money.
So, defendant number 1, we're going to pull out for the First Amendment, the NFL.
I was just going to say that. Yep. Now, the difference is, I think the only small thing is that you can't have collusion, though, of saying that we're all not going to sign him with the cap situation.
Right, and collusion is nothing new to professional sports. I mean, we saw there's another conspiracy. Barry Bonds most certainly was colluded against for his career to come to an end. Yeah, without a doubt.
Because he could have signed somewhere else, right?
No, nobody offered him a deal a year after he hit 45, 50 home runs.
Oh, so then
he didn't get a single contract offered to him.
Damn, I didn't know that.
That's a real thing.
Wow. So he just retired.
They just froze him out of Major League Baseball. So
did he have a collusion case, or was like
no? They pushed for it, but it's a very clear collusion case. It's crazy. But so when I look at how do we feel about the First Amendment right now?
I think it's pretty cool. It's doing his thing. I
think freedom of religion is a great idea that we still see people get persecuted for.
That's one. I think that's more than anything. I think freedom of religion is the worst.
I think the freedom. I think that the assaults on the press, and this could just be me speaking from a way that I see the world due to professional ties. I see that the assault on the press and then the variable levels of what the press is now gets muddled up a lot. Because anytime you see the president literally excluding journalists from pressers and not allowing them to be a part of media sessions because they're not heralding him and praising him for what it is, to me, that is restricting somebody's First Amendment right and something that is a right to them within their job.
Right. That's real. Yeah, my thing is, man, let people do it to believe what they want to believe. And you fucking want to believe in Satan, man, as long as you ain't killing nobody.
And I think that, like the things you saw in Charlottesville and some of the things that happened there, the freedom of assembly, peaceably to assemble.
Yeah,
we've seen that under attack too.
They have a right to do that.
Yeah,
they have a right to drunk.
But the fight back from it the things that happened on the other side was not right.
Right.
People getting killed by cars
there we go.
and things like that. That's what I mean. Because there was no part of that assembly. That assembly was meant to agitate.
Mm-hmm.
And it
wasn't, and all that
and
shit.
It wasn't corralled. Like, you'll see the Ku Klux Klan exercise that First Amendment all the time.
And that's fine.
But it also gets done in a way where the police more or less are protecting them from other people.
Not protecting the people from them.
Exactly. Because they know. Then they make a big show out of it, and it happens, and it's bullshit. But there was nothing right about what was happening in Charlottesville. That was meant to agitate. Or like the Women's March last year, where the same thing was happening. And they're locking them up for doing the things that they're doing. So basically what the First Amendment has degraded down to, in my opinion, is just to your point right there. Mm-hmm. You're free to do anything you want to as long as it doesn't mess with my money.
Don't fuck with my money.
So the capitalists are trying to own the First Amendment.
Yep. First Amendment is capitalist.
I don't think there's going to be any way in hell that Facebook's going to let us run this show. I just thought about it.
Oh, because if we name it the Bill of Rights?
There's no way.
We're going to change the name.
Yeah, that's fine.
We got to change the name. It's called, this is, the real show name is the real Bill of Rights, but it'll be a different name.
We'll call it Untitled, like the D'Angelo album. It's an SEO nightmare. Yeah. It's an SEO nightmare.
But you get it, though. Maybe just call it the BOR. Untitled BOR.
Fuck it. No, we'll call it what we'll call it. The old press it even further. Even further violation. I'm sure we'll get to a few more things in here. All right. So the Second Amendment.
The right to bear arms.
A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
This is the part that fucks me up. It says a well-regulated militia. That means we're in wartime.
Exactly. Because the definition of a militia, as defined, can be a nation's able-bodied men who are not enlisted in the regular armed forces but may be called into military service to serve in an emergency.
So basically all Tennesseans and West Virginia.
Basically all of us. I signed up for the reserves when I turned 18.
You did?
For the
thing you have to do.
The thing you had to do at the post office. The select service.
Even because you wanted your financial aid.
Exactly.
You get your financial aid.
Well, exactly. I mean, I had to do it. You know what I mean? I wasn't. I'm sorry, not the reserves. Not the reserves. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Selective service.
Selective service. Yeah. So in a way, I mean, even as recently as 2001, we were still being forced into the military if need be.
Because the draft happened, though, you was in that motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, here's the thing. I feel like people in their own household feel like they're part of a militia now. And that's where you see the people that are defending this amendment to the death saying, we have a right to bear arms. Here's my problem. I don't have a problem with people being allowed to buy firearms, okay? I have no issue with that at all. That's fine. I think there should be limits on it. I think there should be stiffer penalties if you are found to have one that is not registered and hasn't gone through the right things. Mm-hmm. But right now, it's easier to get a goddamn gun than it is to get your car registered.
It is. Because you go online and buy your gun.
Exactly.
You go online and buy an AR-15.
Exactly. You can I could go online right now and turn into Frank Castle
and
if I
put your
felt
credit
like
card
it.
up here and just copy your credit card in there and send, and it'll be here in 3 days.
And so my problem more or less is with an unlimited ability to bear arms, where you can get ridiculous guns that you have no need to get. Like, I mean, what if I'm like, I don't really want a gun. I want a flamethrower. Or I want a rocket launcher. You know what I mean?
That's my next step. I'm thinking I'm going to get a rocket.
I mean, I feel like it's just escalating at that point. But why are we harder through this amendment right here and standing? This is the Captain America shield right now. The amendment 2 is Captain America's shield.
Captain America don't use a gun. That's the crazy part.
Occasionally. But
he really...
No, on a regular basis, no. But he's also on steroids, too. So, but why is it easier to get firearms than it is in many a state, including this one, for women to terminate an involuntary pregnancy?
Why is it not when they send, why can you wait 48 hours just like women do to have to have an abortion?
Exactly. Why is it that it's just like you can walk in? If you decided that you wanted to kill 100 people and you had the right plan and the right level of I don't give a fuck, you could pull it off in 2 hours. From the time you made your mind up to do it to the time you pulled it off. Mm-hmm. That is fucking insane. But it's enabled by this amendment.
And really, I tell people all the time, maybe all those black people need to go get guns. That's the only way it's going to change. I think that's the only way it will change. If we show up like the Black Panthers did in fucking California And when Ronald Reagan was the governor and showed up in there because he was the right to bear arms, you could just walk up in the State House with guns. Then they made where you can go into any federal building with guns.
Right.
It's because the Black Panthers walk in there with it. I think Black people. This might be on us.
I mean, the only way that we usually can make things change is by us adopting it.
Yeah, maybe we need to start gun clubs.
The only thing that I worry about that was escalation, because what happens with escalation is that
they see like that the U City's got a gun club, a black gun club, and like
is that we already
like they come to get the race wars for to happen.
Well, it's already happening. I mean, they thought that the race war was happening when we tore up 3 blocks of Ferguson. They said it's coming. They're coming to Chesterfield. Like when I just had to give it, I was in radio when that stuff was happening, and then somebody said they lived out in Fenton, and they were like, "We got to lock our houses tonight." I said, "We don't even know where the hell that's at." I said, "You need to lock your house up from that fucking meth head that live across the street from you."
That's cooking,
right
across the street from you,
right?
Especially in Fenton, shit.
Fenton, you worried about your country ass out of here. Amendment 3: the housing of soldiers. No soldier shall, in a time of peace, be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law. That makes sense. That means you can't basically just take over people's houses.
It's basically when you see movies where they like a cop come in and like, "I need your car."
You can't
just commandeer nobody's house.
You can't commandeer somebody's house in the name of war. Yeah. Cool. That one can live. Let's keep going. Yeah, we're hitting 33% with the amendments so far. Amendment 4.
Protection from unreasonable search and seizures. This is basically your Miranda rights.
Yeah.
We don't have to read all that. You know the right to remain silent. I'm with that all day. People need to start doing that a lot.
I'm going to tell you right now, of all the amendments that we're going to read tonight, that's the one I've exercised the absolute most.
Yo, you tell me, am I under arrest?
Tell me what's going on right now. Tell me what's happening right now. As soon as they start saying that, you've got the right.
Lawyer.
The next thing you're going to hear from me is lawyer. Process me in. After lawyer. That, phone call.
Yep. Lawyer.
3 words. 3 words, the only thing I say to them.
0. Motherfuckers gotta understand, you're not explaining yourself out of shit with no cops.
You can't. They can't. They literally, once they process you, cannot let you go. It is done at that point.
Even if they're finna handcuff you in general, and there's no explaining. And fuck it, take me in.
You're done at that point. Let's just go through it. Like, you're not talking yourself out of lockup. Like, there's a lot of things that happen to us that are flat ass wrong and happen because we don't get our due process. But there are times when we get too fired up.
First 48.
Exactly. And I think that what's happening in recent times is that people are finally getting enforced. The fear of the police is at all-time high.
Yes.
At all-time high right now. Like, the fear of the police right now rivals what I would imagine to be to having slave chasing units running up and down the street.
Slave catchers run out.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's exactly what it feels like.
That's what the police are, slave catchers, though.
No, yeah.
They transition those people into property. Because basically all police are people to protect property. So, shout out our policemen. Yeah. But the number of Amendment 4 is probably the most vital of all these motherfuckers, by far.
The issue of police crosses over when police stop what you just said is the purpose of them right there, and they feel like they have to be proactive justice keepers and peacekeepers. Proactive peacekeeping is an aggressive move, and that's when the problem becomes, and that's when the human error comes into play with it.
Like, I'm going to go over here and see what's
I'm going to go and enforce my will and make a difference. That's when the line crosses with me and police, when that happens.
Yeah, because you're enforcing yourself on everybody else.
Exactly. And a lot of the will that they're enforcing in the moments right there have nothing to do with anything that they've been trained to do.
5 is one that's may have to go, man. Protection of rights to life, liberty, and property.
So we'll hit this one. It's a longer one, but I'll hit it.
It's a deep one, though.
No person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in the land or naval forces or in the militia or when actual service in time of war or public danger. We'll stop right there for a second and break that part down. Let's say it this way. Do we feel we would take issue with that part? Do we take issue? Because this is a longer one, so we're going to do this one in sections. Infamous crime is
I mean, that's a very, very.
It's defined. It's defined as a crime that is punishable by death or imprisonment. So I mean, basically, it's saying, and that's up to perception again. Yeah. Presentment or indictment goes into a formal written charge of criminal misconduct presented to a court by a law grand jury. So I mean, that goes into what we just said about as soon as you get charged, you're getting charged with a crime, whether that charge fits the crime or not.
Yeah, it's just we're charging you.
Yeah.
And then the second part is, nor shall the person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb, nor should be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without the due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. So basically, this is the fifth. When everybody talking about the fifth, this is the bill will say like I don't want to. I'm pleading the fifth.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, this is another one that's dope. There's another one that got a many Italian mafia person, and many a drug dealer, a many of a politician, a many of a person off by pleading the fifth.
Oh, exactly. It's
many a Black Panther off as well. And then this is also the inside of this is that you can't be charged for the same offense twice. That's why OJ can't be charged again. Bringing it back, he can't be charged for murder again. He could come out. He in theory he could come out and say, "Yo, like I killed them." Now, the trick bag in that is they can give him a lower charge and try to get him for that.
Exactly, and then hit like, you at the same time
second
on presidents.
Murder. That's why OJ can't go out there and be like, "Oh yeah, I did that shit, bitches," because he can't. Because they could be like, "Oh well, we can get you on second degree murder then."
It continues.
We'll give you a lower charge.
Where did you stop on that last one?
I read the whole thing.
So I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, that's up to perception.
Yeah.
Well, it's up to perception. I'll say we're at 50% with these things so far. I'm going to say that we're going to put this one on the side. We'll revisit how we feel about this one. Amendment 6. Rights of accused person in criminal cases. In all criminal persecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district wherein the crime shall have been committed, which district shall have been previously ascertained by law, and to be informed of the nature and the cause of the accusation. Stop. The biggest laugh among all of these things right here is an impartial jury.
Well, it's supposed to be a jury of your peers, basically, people. Like people that are supposed to be from your area. And we've seen
it never
throughout
happens.
time. It never happens. When they move motherfucking things from one county to another because, we're scared. Like with the Rodney King trial. They moved it from fucking L.A. County to fucking Orange County.
Exactly.
Shout out to all people that's in Orange, black people that are in Orange County now. They infiltrated over there now. But it wasn't none of y'all Negroes that was in Orange County there now, then, in 91.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Exactly.
So, think about that. All your house right now, Orange County, Negro, Hispanic, it was a white person living there.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Just like Compton used to be white.
Yeah.
So, where we get at? And to be confronted with the witnesses against him, to have compulsory process for obtaining witnesses in his favor, and to have the assistance of counsel for his defense.
This is where you have your public defender.
And this is where you really get screwed, because people get stuck in that system and get people that don't even give a damn and get paid for and get paid and are paid by the people they're working against.
And just to move the case through.
You know, the last thing that you want to ever have is a lawyer that works in bulk.
Just like
when your lawyer looks
you don't
at
want the ketchup in bulk either, though.
When your lawyer looks at you like that number you get at the post office, you're in fucking trouble. Especially in the cases that people are coming through.
Oh, you got a murder. Okay. Well,
if you cannot afford to obtain legal counsel, one will be assigned to you. I don't want the people that are coming after me to give me my defense. You think they're going to give me a bigger gun than they got? And this is a huge portion of where we get jammed up as a people. Because that is the power that's giving absolutely none and stripping you of your ability. Because once you accept it, you got to roll with it. Amendment 7.
Rights in civil cases. In suits at common law where the value in controversy shall exceed $20, the right of the trial by jury shall be preserved, and no fact tried by jury shall be otherwise reexamined in court of the United States than according to the rules of the common law. So basically saying if it's over $20, you're gonna take that shit to court.
Mr. Big is going off in my ear right now. Take that as the child, bitch. Take that as the child.
Shout out to Scottie Pippen.
Always, first of all.
Shout out to Scottie, whose a former lover took him to small claims court for $4,999 from 1991, and the reason it's $4,999 is because if it went to $5,000, she had to hire a lawyer because it couldn't be a small claims court.
Exactly.
For all the trips she took in 92, 93.
Top five petty move of all time.
My thing is like, this is delusional. I don't even remember. Dude, you got to think, this is 93. This is 2019. That's 26 years ago. Do you know anybody from 26 years ago? Remember anybody you remember from 26 besides family and like close friends?
Like people I knew?
Yes.
How old was I 26 years ago? I was 10?
Yeah. And think about Scottie in the middle of them rings. And he's supposed to remember?
I felt like Scottie meant a lot to me 26 years ago.
That's what I'm saying, but he did.
Yeah.
But and first of all, no disrespect to you, sweetheart. You got to get your game up, though. How you having Scottie at his pinnacle and you paying for yourself to come see him? You hustling backwards.
Hustling backwards as hell. In her defense.
You hustling backwards.
And that wasn't so far before the basketball chick era that you did know better than you should have done.
Yeah. Or, because Pippen was out there buying private planes to keep up with Jordan, he was spending dough.
Yeah.
Oh. That's why if I was a judge, I'm like, this ain't true. Ain't no way he wouldn't have tricked off on you. He's messing with you.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way possible. I don't believe it. Like, or he told you like, yeah, you could come to Cleveland, and he didn't really want you to come, and you showed up.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was just one of them, it was like one of them open invitations. Remember on Martin with Darnell Hill? He's like, yeah, when you come to LA, just come on my show. He didn't really mean it.
You didn't have to do that, but I mean, if you're gonna be here,
yeah, like come on. And he probably got drunk. He's like, well, shit, you here? You want to come in the room and shit for a minute?
Yeah. That's been a lot of people shoveling dirt on top of their grave when you say that.
So I'm just trying to think of it rationally, but this situation is a situation where basically over $20 he's got to go to trial.
Amendment 8, excessive bail, fines, and punishments forbidden. Excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel or unusual punishments inflicted.
This one's hard, man, because that's all from a judge on what they feel like what the bail should be or punishment should be.
And it's a law that in Missouri has come under review. Where they haven't been where you know how people were getting locked up for months on end, that they came out, the governor came out and said that that's going to end, saying that you can't just leave people locked up in like the Justice Center and in like the county lockup indefinitely because they can't pay their bail. Like you can't just lock them away like they're a prisoner already.
And it's supposed to be a speedy trial
when they haven't been charged with anything yet.
Oh, really? These people hadn't been charged?
Well, like they were there because they were locked up, but the charge hasn't been given by the judge in court yet. So they were locked up like they were already convicted.
Oh, wow.
And that's what it is. Because that's how it's been treated. When you can't raise bail, you sit in jail.
Wait.
It's a direct contradictory to the Eighth Amendment.
Shout out to Missouri doing bullshit.
But cruel and unusual punishments, well, that just means that we don't do that to each other. We just do that to people in other countries. Right. So...
Or people coming across the border.
And how many people, well, yeah, and again, as long as they don't touch soil, we can do it. But again, if you're not a citizen of this country, we'll treat you however. If America has a track record of anything, it's treating everybody else like shit. People that they brought here, people that they're trying to get out of here, or they're going to treat you like however.
Or people they mad that they're still here, being black people.
Exactly. Well, that's institutional.
Yeah. Because we're
unusual.
Necessary evil for them.
That's institutional unusual punishments. That's a different thing. That's called racism and capitalism and all sorts of things. Ninth Amendment.
Other rights kept by the people. The enumeration. Shit. In the Constitution of Civil Rights shall be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people. I don't know this one.
You don't hear this one get brought up as much.
No.
Should you table this for our legal counsel? Somebody's gonna say we should table this whole thing for our legal counsel. Probably. But this we're the public defenders of the Hood Trust right now.
It's the Hood Trust right here though. Let me see if I can get a cliff note. Oh, Kids Law. I'm gonna go to kidslaw.com. They're giving me a Kids Law version of it.
Probably fits.
Yeah, so it says the Ninth Amendment means in short state that When the United States was sent out the states to be voted on, people known as Anti-Federalists argued that there should also be a Bill of Rights. However, another group of Federalists did not think it was necessary. Today, the Ninth Amendment is used mainly to stop the government from expanding their power rather than just limiting their power.
Oh, boy.
Sometimes courts try to use the Ninth Amendment as a way to provide and enforce rights that are not actually talked about in the Constitution.
Oh, like all the things that the president does now.
Yes.
I thought that one looked familiar. I thought that
so basically, when we try to do the travel ban and all that, this goes in that Ninth Amendment. That's why the judges were able to strike that shit down. It's because.
And where are we at on that right now? Does he have another one up right now where like you can't go certain places?
No, he just moves around. He's like one of them dudes that like, oh, I can't do that. Well, shit, let me move out and try some other shit.
The 10th Amendment, the 10th and final one we'll be discussing here right now, is the 10th Amendment, undelegated powers kept by the states and the people. The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution nor prohibited by it to states are reserved to the states respectively or to the people.
Let me go to the kids' amendment here.
We're about to tally this up. So which amendments, in your opinion, are working the hardest against black people currently?
Can I go with all of them? Because I can see every one of them being a Achilles heel in a black man or a black woman's ass.
I think that by and far the point of the entire thing is that's
so 10th. Oh no, maybe not. The 10th one is only one. That's just the balance of powers of the government, the basic judicial, legislative, and executive branch. Having that
important,
but that's not really. I mean, I guess in general, yeah,
an important pillar of, except for when it gets manipulated by appointments that lean one way. There's no such thing as an infallible law or constitute in the United States. It just doesn't exist. It can all be worked around, even if you do have to respect the existence of them. My ask is this. When was the last time? Did you look up the last time that we actually had...
The last amendment?
Yeah, the last time we had a true amendment that happened. We need to have... Amendments need to get amended at this point. I feel like the Second Amendment is, on two parts, a terrible, terrible piece of legislature. On one part...
27th Amendment in 92.
So, here's the thing. The Second Amendment is a terrible piece of legislature. It's awful. Because it hurts black people in two ways. Number one, when they drop off all them guns in the hood, there's another conspiracy for you.
100%. I believe that. I think that's true.
When they drop off all them guns in the hood, it's allowing them to keep population control on the people that they truly don't, that they give least care about.
And they also be able to put people in the prison system, and then there you make your money out the prison industrial system on top of that.
Exactly. Especially the privatized prison system, which is...
And Obama stroked that shit down with him and Eric Holder, but I think Trump's trying to bring this shit back.
He's most certainly going to bring it back.
Yeah.
He won't have succeeded if he hasn't tried to erase everything Barack Obama did directly. One thing he won't touch is the Second Amendment, though, because it caters to his entire base.
Oh, yeah, he's not touching that.
And the biggest justified fear tactic of all time is the Second Amendment. And the way that it's been evolved to look at, this is an outdated piece of legislature.
Yeah.
Anytime your thing is saying a well-regulated militia... A well-regulated,
and they thought that the English was always going to be invading, and that's why they thought they needed a militia all the time.
Well, exactly. But the most well-regulated militia now is the NRA.
Yeah.
And the most well-paying militia is the NRA.
Because they pay out like a motherfucker.
They keep those people. They keep the people that want them to be there in the position that they.
Oliver North is like their president.
Yes.
Ain't that some crazy shit? Oliver North.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Nicaraguan conflict.
I mean, if anybody.
It'd be Oliver North, right?
Yeah, if anybody would. So there's I'm going to say that there's a number of these that work specifically hard against black people. I think the most of them are the ones about due process. They're the ones about the things that put people, the basic hallmarks of being an American citizen.
And Scottie Pippen looking at that one Bill of Rights. Which one is that number?
The Scotty
law. Which one? The Scotty law would be 7. He's like, damn, it can't be 5,000. Y'all saying it's seating $20.
If you could amend anything, what would you amend? What would be the law you would put forward to get worked out?
It's got to be guns or weed.
I thought you were going to say guns and butter for a second right there.
No, guns and weed.
Okay. Is there one that you appreciate more than the other? Mine personally is Prohibition.
Mine is Prohibition, period. Prohibition was the best thing that ever happened in America. But the crazy thing is they said cats was making that money, though, because of Prohibition, though, because they said a drink was 3 times what it was before.
It was like drinking in New York all the time.
Yeah. Everywhere.
Yeah.
It was like drinking in New York everywhere.
Happy hours if you got like a $20 drink.
Yeah, exactly. They said that a lot of the mafia was upset. They knew that the paper was going to dry up. And Augie Bush was sitting there like, my shit been still going. I'm ready to open up tomorrow. Before we get out of here, we want to give a rest in peace, or rest in power to Toni Morrison, man.
Always.
One of the best to do this writing thing, man. Man, I read at least 10 of her books, man. Dope writer, man. Always down for the people. And her books were very, very women-centric, but it didn't feel like it was women-centric. It felt like it was just a woman's story. Like, wasn't overbearing of like, it's just like getting a perspective from a woman perspective about this situation in this fictional style story.
She is not a Mary J. Blige.
No.
Because her words are something to live by everybody.
Yes.
I think did you see Barack Obama's statement on it today?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, man.
Fantastic. You remember when we used to have like eloquent presidents that said things in times of peril that uplifted people?
No, we didn't got
as opposed to just uplifting themselves?
That motherfucker didn't even know. Shout out to Donald Trump that he said Toledo instead of Dayton.
Cameron straightened that out for us decades ago. Youngstown.
Dayton, Cincinnati, Columbus. He gave us the whole map.
He gave us everything except for like Sandusky and Cincinnati.
Sandusky was too small. You know he ain't been to no goddamn Sandusky.
I'm just saying.
Maybe pick up some weed. Like it gotta be like some bricks. I can see Sandusky having bricks there for some reason.
We could find out easily.
Yeah.
But
that's so insider, y'all never know why.
Sure they do.
Yeah, they probably
figure it out. Yeah. But yeah, man, I mean that's a loss for the. Here's what my ask is for that. In the spirit of us losing a great voice for the people, is this enough to get you to write a blog once a week again?
So me,
is this enough?
I can do once a month, man.
Can you do twice a month?
I can do maybe twice a month.
A bi-weekly.
I can do it bi-weekly.
I'm just asking you to figure out a way to put together like 600 words every 2 weeks.
So 1,200 words a month.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do that per article.
I can do that a month. Where am I writing for?
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
You heard it here.
Yeah, I'm coming out of retirement, man.
You heard it here. We can't be not using good voices. We lost a huge light today.
Toni Morrison made me come out of retirement. What was
different things got inspired?
It's like when George Foreman was saying that who would he say if somebody win he will come out of retirement? I think it was whoever Vladimir Klitschko was fighting one time. He was like, if he beat it, I think it was Bird, Chris Bird. He's like, if Chris Bird win, I'm coming out of retirement. Like,
did you just compare Toni Morrison to Chris Bird?
Well, no, I mean the opposite way that George Foreman was saying, like, if this dude beat him, I'm going to come back and be the oldest heavyweight champion of all time. Because this dude's that much of a bum. That's what he was saying. Like, if he win, I'm coming out of retirement.
Hey, that was a Titan, man. We lost a Titan today.
Yeah,
but 88 years is a life well lived.
You got a good run.
Huge one.
And you got to think, dude, man, multiple Pulitzer Prize winners. Multiple books.
And you never really die. That's the great thing is you never really die when you've made a legacy. And when you get a chance to live your legacy, that's just the victory lap. But, I mean, you never really die if you make a legacy. And I think that that's something to really look at, especially when you look at the influences of her work.
Yeah,
right?
because Teddy's always say, man, like one of the biggest things people always want to talk about legacy. But if you don't have anything written down about you or you've done as written,
did you live?
You will be forgotten. You will be forgotten. And it's no way possible. You would. It's probably a dude that was dudes that was doing radio in St. Louis like us in the 20s that were black that was doing their thing on the, and we don't know who the fuck they are because it was not written down that James Boxster and Richard Lawson were. The first two black.
Richard Lawson's a real person.
That's a real person. That's actually that's Beyonce's father-in-law. Not father-in-law, stepfather.
Steppappy.
Yeah, steppappy. And also Bianca Lawson, that was on Saved by the Bell, the new class, daddy. She's also on Queen Sugar. That's her pappy. There's another Lawson too. There's a lot of he got like a whole
Manny Lawson that used to play for the 49ers.
Whoa, hold on. Let's see what.
This has been the worst tribute to Toni Morrison of all time.
But we got to figure out Richard Lawson's family tree here, though.
No, we don't. We don't have to do that.
I mean,
hey, y'all, stay locked in. Hey, the Patreon page is coming soon.
Bianca's his only child.
Tell them about the Patreon page.
Patreon page is coming soon. Y'all can donate soon with that. We'll give you extra content. We'll give you some free stuff going on there. We gonna trick it out for you in different levels over at the Patreon. Because we got to get this Green Book tour going. So that's coming. That's going to be happening. A part of the push for it. Make sure you email us straight olc@gmail.com. Subscribe to us everywhere. We on YouTube. We everywhere. Appreciate everybody showing us a lot of love and keeping us locked in. We gonna keep giving y'all some dope content as always. But make sure you look out for the Patreon page. We're gonna be dropping that coming up soon. And thank y'all for listening as always. Peace.